So let's talk about the future of the automotive industry. Technology is obsolete. So the automotive industry is being required to really figure out a way to design things like the powertrain and safety systems over 4, 5, 6 years, and the consumer type of devices inside the car over 2 to 3 years. We think that the automobile is rapidly becoming the most complex consumer product in the world. The semiconductor content in automobiles is rising at a very dramatic rate, which obviously is a very good thing for Freescale and many of our partners. In a high-end vehicle today, there are more than 80 microprocessors and microcontrollers. These devices are used in the powertrain, the chassis, safety systems, and driver information systems. And many of them are connected by in-vehicle networks. And they share diagnostic information, and they enable many interactive features. Over the next 5 to 10 years, the powertrain of automobiles has to change and will change dramatically. Rising energy costs and the need for energy conservation, as well as emissions regulations, demand it. We will see dramatic changes in the normal internal combustion engines that we've been so familiar with. We're seeing hybrids take an important place in the landscape that will advance to plug-in hybrids, and we'll see complete electric cars. In the more immediate future, safety is the most critical issue being dealt with by the automotive industry. I heard one of the major players in the industry just last week said that the goal of the entire automotive industry is 0 injuries and fatalities in the world as a result of anything associated with an automobile. An incredibly aggressive goal, but obviously a very noble one. We're going to see movement towards that goal in the short term through increased deployment of what we refer to as passive safety systems, airbags, stability control, tire pressure monitoring. A little bit further out, we're going to see passive safety migrate to very active safety with such things as blind spot detection, adaptive cruise control, even lane departure warnings. We're going to see all of these systems interacting with traffic signals as well as infrastructure along roads and highways. We're going to see car-to-car communications, again, to avoid any kind of accidents. So we're going to see dramatic developments in this whole safety arena. The driver infotainment systems represent a huge area for innovation and growth. Voice-activated communications and theater-quality audiovisual entertainment systems are coming online. These are becoming key differentiators in the purchase decision of an individual buying an automobile. So it's becoming increasingly important for the car manufacturers to be able to develop these products and introduce them much more rapidly than they have in the past. Video cameras are going to replace mirrors. Wireless broadband will ultimately make the automobile the mobile communication device that everybody in the car takes advantage of. Now, to tell us more about what the future holds from a Freescale perspective, I'd like to invite out on stage Freescale's Global Automotive Segment Marketing Director, Steve Nelson. Steve? Welcome, Steve.
Thank you very much. Good to have you. Rich, without a doubt today, we live in a connected world. That's true as we carry more and more devices. But in the future, we need to think about connecting not just the devices, but today we're going to talk about connecting the car itself. So in order to do that, we're going to take you on a connected car version of the Great American Road Trip. You heard Lisa talk about how we're working with Alcatel-Lucent in the development of LTE technology. Well, as part of that, working with our partner QNX in the NG Connect program, we're working to bring always-on, bi-directional, high-speed connectivity to the car. So let's talk about what we have here, and let's talk about this technology.
Let's take a look at it.
So here, we're going to talk about a road trip that goes from Texas to Florida for FDF. We found a very fine-looking family walking down the road. We brought them in here today. So here we have, mom is coming to FTF, the family gets a vacation. What we have in the car is we have 4 multifunctional touchscreen displays, all capable of simultaneous bidirectional internet access. These are based on the i.MX 51 application processor. So let's get the road trip started. So Rich, I have teenagers. Do you have?
So do I. Yep.
Absolutely. Well, so the number one thing in getting a road trip is getting it started. Well, I certainly remember, getting a stack of magazines and books and VHS tapes and DVDs. But with this type of application, we're going to be able to have everybody in the car have access to the world of internet audio and video. Many people are familiar with Pandora Internet Radio. Here we can see an application where we have in the back seat looking at Pandora, has a huge range of audio content available at its touch. Secondly, what's a road trip without a bit of fun? So with on-demand internet access, we can pull up websites such as roadamerica.com. And here we can see, with just a little bit of a detour, which I'm sure is going to be worth it, by Tampa, we can go visit Spongerama, which we're going to spend time looking at the incredibly exciting history of America's sponge diving industry. And I mean, that sounds like a day of family fun. I'm looking forward to that. And it's up on my list. I'm glad we could actually do that. So next, let's talk about the road trip. Well, sometimes there can be a downside. You're on a long road trip. Maybe there might be an issue with the car. You get a warning light. There could be a diagnostic issue. There could be a hardware problem of some kind. How can the connected car help us with that? Well, what we can do is we can access the dealer network. We can look for a dealership that's on our route. We can schedule an appointment. We can look at that location, find somewhere for lunch next to that repair facility, bring the car, have lunch, come back. Very little interruption to the trip, just like it never happened. So the car can definitely help us with this. So lastly, we certainly see the opportunity for a wide range of applications, just as we see with smart mobile devices today. We see a wide range of applications where people will be developing specific content for the car, targeted around automotive and travel-related applications. And we can see all of this going on, all on the displays within the connected vehicle in real time.
How do we see this interfacing with the safety topic we talked about just a minute ago?
So that's certainly a good question, Rich. Certainly safety is a key item for automobiles that we see. It's important to note that we talk about content coming into the car and this application pulling a lot, but this is a bi-directional link. So we see opportunities where the car can report on road conditions, pothole locations, is the road slippery, is it dry? All of this information that come from all of the cars that are out there communicated back to the cloud and shared with other vehicles as well as the infrastructure. So we certainly see a clear application for automotive safety.
Any way that could help with traffic management, for example, as well?
And I think that is really a more compelling situation that we can think about, because certainly we all know if it wasn't for other drivers, many times driving is a fairly pleasant experience. So avoiding traffic, and they're not getting better, by the way, so avoiding traffic is a key part of a driving experience. So in a situation like this where you have planned your navigation, the car knows where you're going, not only real-time traffic, but where you are, but we need to think about maybe traffic 2 hours down the road. The cloud can know, well, there's a whole bunch of cars proceeding in this area. We see a bottleneck. Maybe it reroutes you, not on what's going on there now, but what might develop in a couple of hours. So Rich, this is, we do talk about fun, safe, and sustainable transportation, and I think the connected car is going to help us proceed on all three.
So it's pretty exciting. When do you think this is really going to be seen by people in the audience, consumers, in their vehicles?
Well, certainly, the technology we see here today exists today. I think we'll see things in the aftermarket coming very quickly, and to the comments earlier, this is the kind of application that consumers really want, and we know that the tier ones and the OEMs want to provide. So we see this kind of application coming very quickly, I think.
Great. Thanks, Steve. This is very exciting. Appreciate you joining us.
Thank you, Rich.
Thank you.
Thank you.